Welcome to today's Parent, where we connect with experts and provide you with information to make your parenting journey a bit more easier. I'm your host, Christine Casina, and on today's show, we'll be talking about... And in studio, we have Wanjiru Kihusa of Still a Mom. So how can society be of help when it comes to helping moms and dads cope with child loss? Let's start with moms.
Coming from what I just said earlier, a mentality that every loss matters. If you come from there, then if you see it like any other death, then you kind of get into support mode. So here's the thing. What happens when you come home with your baby?
Everybody's jubilant and is congratulating me, and it's just a festival by itself.
Yes. So that's what we do when a baby comes home. And like in the village, I mean, there's singing, there's somebody, your family make sure there's someone living with you, whether it's a living nanny or a relative or your younger sister. Like there's always, what do we need to do to support this person? So if we came with the same mentality about someone who's lost a baby, because imagine now, flip side, so you've gone to the hospital, you're about 6 months pregnancy, your pregnancy was showing, then you come home, there's no baby and you're no longer pregnant. What's happened naturally?
First of all, I wouldn't want to see anybody at that point, but then I'm hoping people will come and see me and say, Pole.
Now, the first assumption, by the way, is that I have had an abortion.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So you see, if you start from there, how can you support me if you already have...
You're already judging me that way is my baby.
Yeah. Because we don't immediately spin into, oh my God, she's lost her baby. We wonder...
Like she had an abortion.
I didn't think about it that way. We looked at her yesterday and she had this bump, and today there's no bump and she's back home.
Yeah, so you can be so isolated and alone and judged.
And very, very judged. And I will not even get up into like the myths that we have about witchcraft, and she's had many abortions, and she's being punished by God. And there's a myriad of things that we imagine that must have happened to her. Yeah. And if we come like that, then we are unable to support her. So I would say, again, see this as any other death. And just love people. So that means show up. Like literally there's no substitute for presence. Unfortunately.
Compared to a text WhatsApp, it's not the same.
Even M-Pesa is not a substitute, you know?
Show up.
Because even when someone dies, like you go there, you find out what needs to be done. If this house doesn't have food,
and
we
people
get food.
Rally behind you.
Yes.
But with miscarriages, hardly, by the way.
Hardly. Because again, we don't qualify it as
a real loss.
As a real death, yeah? So it would be show up. While you're there, imagine you'll find something to do. You'll find a need to meet, yeah? As opposed to when I bump into you on the road and then now you're trying to be very consolational. And in the process, say hurtful stuff. Oh, you guys are young. Or so you get other children. Or you already have other children. You should be grateful. And while it is true, I am very grateful, by the way. Children are different. Even if I do get another one, they're never going to be the same person, you know? So, yeah.
So let's go through them. What can anybody not say to a couple, a mom or dad, a woman, a man who's gone through child loss?
One, don't ask about the experience like it's a movie. Yeah?
Like, oh my gosh, what happened?
What happened? Now, here's the thing. It is a very traumatic experience. I should not have to narrate it to you. Let me tell it when I want to. So don't ask like that, yeah? Just instead say, I am really, really sorry for your loss. Like it's okay to give a heartfelt message because for real you're hurting with them, Right. And it can always be sensed. So that's it. Number two, don't tell them about how they will have other children. Yeah,
we've already still young. You'll get another one.
We had that. We had that a lot.
You and
your husband are so young. Why are you stressed? You can always try again. Now, for those people who have other children, now they hear the other side. You have already other kids. You should be so grateful.
Tosheka na wata.
Tosheka na wata. Now then we move into cliches, others that are not sensible at all. Huyo hakuwa wako.
So
exactly, you know, and whoever it is so grieving, like she can't tell that to you on your face. Hakuwa wako, it was God's will.
How do you even come up with that?
It was God's will. We hear that a lot. And while it is true because I'm a believer and I know that there's nothing that happens without, you know, it having a purpose, unfortunately, that's not what I want to hear like now. Can we have this conversation like in a year? But like when it's raw and fresh.
So how do you say it? How do I tell somebody who's gone through child loss? Just sorry. And
exactly. The way you've just said it.
I'm sorry for your
Don't
loss.
garnish. Yeah? It does not need madoido. If there are people who, if they are close to you and they take hugs, hug them. You know, people know, you know how your friends love to be loved. You know, yeah. So if it's love, you hug them and say, I am really, really sorry for your loss. Yeah. I cannot begin to imagine where you are. Just love people truthfully, because then you don't even have to need a script. You just tell them as it is. Again, as if they'd lost an older person. You know?
Every loss is a loss.
Every loss is loss.
And you know, in this equation, the one person we focus on a lot is the mother.
Oh,
How
yeah.
about the dad? How do you help dads just to deal?
Oh, dads have a big weight on their shoulders. First of all, they are the men of the house, you know, so they are probably the one who made all the plans. But number two, they are the ones who are doing all the practical stuff. They're the ones who did all the admission procedures. Now we have to leave the hospital. Even if without a baby, I have to be discharged. They have to talk to the doctor and find out, is she okay? Has pharmacy cleared her? Like he's busy with the stuff that needs to be doing.
Right.
Yeah, the doing. Now, unfortunately, because of the always being the ones who do, no one looks after them.
You forget about them.
Yeah. And you look at even at barriers. Look at those people who are always running errands. They're the ones fixing everything that needs to be fixed. Has a coffin been bought? You know? What is that person wearing? And where are we going to get this table? You know, those people, those are the people we need to make sure they also eventually grieve. Because they get overwhelmed with the doing of things. Yeah. So for dads, and here is also the other thing. Men, I don't know, we don't sometimes understand men's friendships, but they also do shoulder-to-shoulder support. We always assume because men don't, you know, talk and share very intimate information.
Right.
But they always also do shoulder-to-shoulder support. And that means it's not necessarily facing each other, but they probably were watching a game and there's company, you know. But what they do with each other's friendship is that they know that if I ever want to talk, I can do so here. This environment
So
is
that
safe.
companionship matters in that moment.
It's very, very, very important. So supporting the dads. For us who are wives, it's making sure that when he does need to talk, he knows it's safe and I'm going to listen, yeah? And realizing that it's also not about me, yeah, all the time. And my way of grief is not his way of grief. Here's the thing I hear from a lot of women. My husband didn't even grieve. He went back to work like
cry.
this. He did, yeah? Because what's your definition of grieving? It's weeping and crying and talking about your baby today, tomorrow, next week.
Yeah.
But that's not his style. Yeah. So here he's grieving, just not in the way you know how. So he's hurting. He may not be telling you because he's the person who's supposed to hold it together.
He just deals with it differently.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back right after this. And when we are back with Wanjiru, she's going to take us through the work she does with Still a Mom and the support that they offer to couples going through child loss. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to today's Parent. On today's show, we've been talking about child loss, and in studio we have Wanjiru Kihusa of Still a Mom. Before we went on the break, we had a question from Betty in Kangemi. Wanjiru, what's your take on that?
Wow, that's a sensitive area, and I'm really sorry to Betty for the loss of their baby. But I would say, first of all, you're a team. Both of you have to be ready, you know, because now I have a rainbow baby, and a rainbow baby is what is a child that is born after a loss. Yeah?
Right.
It's a very beautiful term. But I will tell you, pregnancy after a loss is another thing altogether. The anxiety, the fear, like you have to be ready. You can't just be trying to get pregnant as a form of replacing. And you have to be very honest with yourself. Like, am I just, and I was there of feeling like I want a baby today, you know?
Because it's not happening now.
Yeah, because the first one went the way it went and it broke your heart, and then you had a miscarriage afterwards, and again your heart is broken, and you may feel like the best way to heal is to get another child today.
Does it help?
Know? It does for most people, but try and make sure it's not an escaping move. You know?
Right.
Yeah, so get your mental health in order.
And how do you do that?
Go for counseling if you can, please. Like I do know maybe this is gonna be a conversation with you for another day, but mental health and seeking professional help is important. But even if you cannot do that right now, or you can afford it, go to your friends. Like, make sure you have really grieved. Don't run away from this loss, yeah? Because raising children with some unhandled trauma is not good. Yeah, because let me tell you, there will be times when you will hold our baby and you will weep because you're remembering,
your other loss.
Yeah, pregnant women who've lost babies and then gone on to have children will tell you the way we stare at our babies and we don't even want to leave them with anybody else because I don't want this baby to die the way the other one did. So it's so sensitive to parent after loss.
Right.
You can't just go in just for the sake. So I'd say make sure both of you are together on the same page, which means husband has or your partner has healed, you have healed, whatever that looks like, but make sure at least you face it, you have a conversation about it. This is not one of those things you can sneaky sharp pregnancy.
Yes.
I mean,
have a conversation.
If he's not healed, what kind of dad are you looking at here, So both of you need to be on the same page. And then get cleared by your doctor.
So number 3, get cleared by your doctor. Number 1 was see a therapist.
See a therapist.
Number
if
2,
you can't, talk to your friend, but at least make sure you breathe. Number 2, have that conversation with your partner. Yeah, don't just slide into, we are trying again, and you've not had that conversation. Number 3, get cleared by your doctor.
So get cleared by your doctor.
Why am I saying that? Doctors will want to see if it was like, in my case, we had an infection that needs to have, the doctor needed to know that it has left my body. So I had many tests. A lot of follow-up gynecological examinations.
Right.
Yeah? So if the doctor then says, okay, you guys are good, you want to conceive,
so then you have a go ahead.
Exactly. So that we know now the mind is ready,
and
together we are ready.
Yeah.
Now
and the body is ready.
Because, pregnancy is a roller coaster for your body. So you want to be able to, kind of like, most doctors will tell you 3 months, your body has sort of hit the reset button. Like now it can start again.
3 months.
Yeah. So others will tell you as soon as we have the next period, we can start again. So again, go to your doctor. Yeah. So I think that's where I would go with that. So mental health, relational health, and then body health.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So let's focus now on the work you do with Still a Mom. What kind of support do you offer parents when it comes to child loss?
Wow. So when we originally started, we were only supporting parents who lost a baby because that's where I was. It was from my own personal experience, and we did only physical therapy.
So physical therapy.
Yeah, meaning that people came to the office or to a physical location and we did counseling, and then we also did group therapy. Now though, we also do WhatsApp support groups because we are finding ourselves with people from South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana who are interested in our support systems, and they do not have that in their country. So right now, as it stands, we do several things in Still a Mom. We now do maternal mental health.
Maternal mental health.
So we are supporting moms who've gone through postpartum depression. We're supporting moms who've had child loss. We are supporting parents who've had general bereavement, whether it's loss of an older child.
Right.
We are handling loss of a spouse, loss of, a partner, So we are doing a lot of that, and we do this in one-on-one individual counseling.
Right.
We do that in couple counseling. We even have to do sometimes home visits because sometimes you will encounter somebody who just had a CS and the baby passed on, and you have to go to her and she can't come to you. So we do home visits as well.
Okay.
And then we, at the same time, we also now do virtual support. We have to do telecounseling sometimes because somebody is hysterical, they're at a bad place, and they're not in Nairobi. So you have to, speak to them over the phone and do telecounseling. We have to do virtual counseling as well, WhatsApp, any form of video, even on Facebook. On our Facebook group, sometimes we will have a counselor come online for like an hour or 2 and respond to questions.
So you have a Facebook group?
Oh yeah, we have 2. We have one called Still a Mom support group for those
Still a Mom support group on Facebook.
On Facebook for those who've lost a baby. And then we have Still a Mom Rainbow Moms for those who are trying to conceive or are pregnant or just had a rainbow baby.
So let's go back to Still a Mom, the group on Facebook, the one for the moms or parents going through child loss.
Yeah.
Actually, the moms going through child loss.
Yeah.
Is it an open group, secret group, closed group?
It's a closed
How does
group.
somebody join?
Mostly if you look for us, you'll find us, and then you request to join. We try to keep it closed just to make sure that not everyone out there is reading. So privacy and confidentiality is a very big conversation with anyone doing any form of counseling, because it's a very private conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
So we do all forms of counseling ourselves, and then we also do a lot of mental health workshops, like wherever we can get an opportunity, whether it's at church. Most we talk about maternal mental health, and finally we are also doing training for hospitals, because respectful bereavement care is something that is super needed in how they break the news to you that your baby has died. Madam, hapa kuna heartbeat. There's that. So
it's very important you've raised that, because a lot of the women I've talked to, it's the one thing they mentioned, that in the span of being informed of the loss, and the next thing you're being sent to the hospital for to be cleared.
Oh.
There is no preparation in between, and it's like this process that you just need to go through.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a loss and a procedure.
And so we are doing that. It's a full course. It's respectful bereavement care. We do that for maternities and hospitals generally who are interested in learning how to support somebody who's lost a baby in the hospital protocol. Yeah.
Right.
Because it's your first experience. This is the first place where you hear about the loss. And we have had a lot of horrible stories, including coming to the incubator and finding your baby was moved.
Without you being informed that the baby has passed away.
New baby over here. So you have to follow up and ask, okay, sasa mtoto wangu alienda wapi? Others in how we talk about disposal, the way, do you want, like, how would you like us to dispose? It's not a very nice
like
term.
This beautiful baby of mine.
They call it disposal. Yeah.
That's
so
good.
there's that. There's sometimes small things, like trying to teach hospitals that there are small things that do not require a lot of money or additional stuff that you can do, like moving that woman to another ward because she does not
from
have
all these people who've given birth,
and there's crying all night and her baby didn't make it. So there are stuff like that. There's this amazing thing that Kijabe Hospital does where they put a purple ribbon on top of your bed. And what that is everyone in the hospital knows what that is. And they tell you, of course, they have consent before they put it, but even the kitchen staff, as they bring your food, they're not like, Madam, mbona how breastfeed? They know what that ribbon means, so there are conversations they can have with you.
That's important.
They are very courteous. So we teach also we train with hospitals as well. Just what can you do just to make that experience a little lighter for this mother?
I hear. The one thing that you've touched on is maternal mental health. And in the space that you have lost a child,
it's so necessary.
What are the tips you can share with the mom when it comes to, I know you are grieving as a mom, but there has to be something you can do just to try and balance things out. And
stay afloat.
Yes, so pointers on self-care when it comes to child loss.
First of all, just to tell them by day that you deserve to also look after yourself. The thing with those of us who've lost a baby, the moment you're happy like this, you feel guilty. You feel like you're not grieving your child.
Like, why am I happy?
Yeah, I should be crying, So there's that part that you need to move on. Like, the first time they actually have a good day, feel like they should not have had a good day like that. So, like, allow yourself actually to heal. Like, when you're done all the emotions of grieving, allow yourself to heal and actually have a good time. And one of them is one form of self-care is actually grief, like feel the pain that needs to be felt. Because there's a quote that I read online that I really like that says that grief is the price we pay for love. Like the moment you love somebody when they are gone, whether it was a heartbreak or they actually died, you're gonna feel it, and that's grief, and that's the price we pay for having loved somebody.
So allow yourself to grieve.
Allow it. Don't be in a hurry to go back to work and so solve everyone's problems because that's what women do. So those are
coping mechanisms, like I still got this.
I still got this, and we run to work and we go where we know what to do. Because we don't know what to do with all this emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, you're trying to just block it out.
Yeah, so allow yourself to grieve and give yourself enough time for that. But when the time comes, then allow yourself to also enjoy life, whatever that form looks like, because people are different. For some people, it's actually going to sit down somewhere and having a coffee by themselves. So if that works for you, if that is a form of self-care, and so here we are talking about self-awareness, knowing what works for you.
Right.
Then if that means going for a massage, you're going to get your nails done, or whatever it is, coffee with the girls, then do it. Because that is what kind of will help you start to see in color again. Yeah.
Thank you, Wanjiru.
Thank you.
This has been a very deep topic, and I'm sure for somebody out there going through child loss or a couple going through child loss, this is going to be very helpful to them. So thank you so very much for coming to share. Me. So before you go, if somebody wants to connect with you, please give us your handles.
Thank you for that. So if you've lost a baby or you have a friend, because we also get a lot of referrals from friends, number one, you can reach us on our phone number, which is 0743 708 336.
Okay.
So 0743 708 336. That's our office line.
Right.
So you can call and you're going to be assisted. Additionally, you can drop us an email at helpline@stillamom.com, or just look for Still a Mom on any social media. Even literally, if you Google us, you're going to find us on Facebook, Instagram, or even Twitter. DM, somebody is going to get back to you within 24 hours. Yeah.
Thank you, Wanjiru. Thank you for watching today's Parent. On today's show, we were talking about child loss, and in studio we had Wanjiru Kihusa of Still a Mom, who took us through the help that is out there if you're going through child loss. If you know any couple out there, or you're going through child loss, please get in touch. The contacts are shared at the end of this show. Don't suffer in silence. There's help out there. There are communities you can join of moms who are going through the same, so you can get all the support that you need. Today, we've been filming at Little Cribs, the home of exciting, durable, and good kids furniture.